Now, when it comes to peace in the Middle East, well, and with America, it'll be interesting to watch how this plays out because Hamas has announced today that they will not be returning all of the United States hostages, all of the hostages in Gaza on Saturday, I believe, is when President Trump asked them. Benjamin Netanyahu and President Trump said, you need to return all of the hostages by Saturday. And they've just come out and said no. I would like to just remind them, President Trump gave them a warning that all hell will break loose if these hostages were not returned. And so I wouldn't test that if I were you, Hamas. I love that I'm talking like Hamas watches my program. Hamas are big fans of Sara Gonzales Unfiltered here. I'm just saying, if any of them are watching, I wouldn't test that with Donald Trump. I wouldn't do it. Okay. Matt, I was just talking about Hamas responding to Netanyahu and President Trump and saying, we're not returning your hostages. And President Trump had already told them, you don't want to do that. And so President Trump responded today to Hamas's announcement. Here's what he had to say. Watch.
Mr. President, when you say all hell is going to break loose, are you speaking about retaliation from
You'll find out, and they'll find out, too. Hamas will find out what I mean.
Mr. President,
they're going to find out what I mean. These are sick people, and they'll find out what I mean Saturday at 12 and 12.
I don't think they should do that. I think that's a bad decision. Listen, Hamas, I just said before the break, like, I don't know how many of you watch my show.
I think it's probably zero.
Listen, Hamas, if you are out there, I really don't recommend this. I mean, I'm saying this is for you, okay? I really don't recommend around and then finding out when it comes to Donald Trump. I just don't recommend that.
Look, the al-Baghdadi raid, which not many people know about. Al-Baghdadi died like a dog. Like, what people don't understand is when those guys went in, the amount of firepower that Trump sent in with them was unbelievable. Now, I'm not saying I know someone who was on that raid or don't know someone who was on that raid, but I'm going to tell you that it was...
How come you know everyone? I don't know anyone that's been on any raids. I wasn't in Black Hawk Down.
Well, that's what can I say?
Anyway,
I'll introduce you. I was going to introduce you to my friend.
Whatever.
You were in DC. You were like, I'm going and visiting like Congress.
That's true. I do.
See, I don't know anyone in well, no, it's not true. Actually, I do know.
Oh my gosh! Whatever. Keep going.
Anyway, my point is, Trump will never ever put our troops in harm's way, right? He's not going to do it. And he knows that if he uses overwhelming force, then that's one of the ways that he will preserve the lives of Americans. They need to heal yesterday. Yeah. And I predict, if they're not completely stupid, that we'll get all the hostages back by Friday. Like, if they don't, it's going to be... Look, he did this with Kim Jong-un, didn't he, before? Like, he's like, you know what, listen, you better do blah, 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 blah. And then he hit Syria, if you remember correctly. And he's like, no, boom, took them all out. He will do this as if they don't come back, he will do it as saying, like, don't with America, because this is what you will get.
I mean, again, at this point, and I don't disagree with the decision, by the way, if that's what he chooses to do. I don't disagree with it because... At a certain point, I mean, you've already given the warning, right? Like, you've already been very clear, all hell will break loose. And now he's doubling down on it and saying, you'll find out. Okay, cool. Fafo, I guess. And so at this point, it's like, well, you guys have backed me into a corner because now I have to respond because no one's going to take me seriously if I don't. And I already said I was going to do it, which again, I don't disagree with the decision to do that. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens over the week.
Well, the other thing is what you're going to see is what America can do if the gloves are off and we have the greatest military that the planet has ever seen.
And we're actually prioritizing what we should be prioritizing.
The guy, what did he say? And what has Pete Hegseth said? They will be the most lethal fighting force ever. Yeah. I mean, good luck.
Right.
Good luck with that one. Right. It's not going to turn out well for you, Hamas.
Yeah, I don't know if they have any bomb shelters in their shacks that they have in the rubble over there, Hamas's. And by the way, I don't like... They're disgusting people, and I think it's really sad that I'm sure they're going to use human shields and that they use hospitals to like hide underneath because nobody wants to bomb the sick. Like, that's all really terrible, and I'm not trying to make light of it, but that is Hamas's fault, not the fault of the United States. And if they put us in a position where we have to respond, place the blame where it goes, which is at Hamas's feet, not Donald Trump's. So I hope everyone remembers that whenever something happens, although I hope it doesn't come to that and Hamas comes to their senses before the deadline.
And by the way, it won't just be there.
No.
It's not just going to be there.
No. Oh,
It's going to hit them wherever, all over the place in their command and control, their funding. I mean, this will be, a comprehensive response.
Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on it. If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you know you do. Click here.